Welcome friends, and come on in. You're welcome to join us for this progressive holiday meal. I'm the first stop on this holiday meal train, and I am making my family favorite Christmas ham, and as a side dish, homemade cranberry sauce. So let me get my apron on and we'll get that started. And while I'm working, I'll clue you in as to where you're going to stop next. Now here's my spiral sliced honey ham. I picked it up at Kroger. I got it for 89 cents a pound. So whereas I normally would spend $37 for this ham, I was able to get it for under $10. So I've got my ham here. I'm going to use this small roasting pan, which is what I like to use when I'm roasting hams or small turkeys or chicken. And I'm also going to be using some brown sugar, some honey, and some apple juice. And this is apple juice that I preserved myself, so I'm really excited to use that. Now, whereas a lot of people might use pineapple juice in their holiday ham, I don't. We've got several allergies in our family to pineapple or pineapple juice, so we like to use apple juice and applesauce instead. So I'm going to move on over to the stove and we'll get this started. Going to add my cup of brown sugar and cup of apple juice to the pot. Going to turn that on and let it come to a simmer. I want to make sure the sugar is all dissolved. And while it's doing its thing, I'll add some other spices. We'll get our honey added in. 1/4 cup of honey, and you can add a little more honey as you desire if you like yours a little sweeter. I'm going to add a teaspoon of mustard, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of cloves. I'm going to bring it to a boil and then just let it simmer for a bit. And I can already smell that warm, spicy scent. Now that that's come to a boil, I'm going to turn it down and just let it simmer. I'm going to set this off the heat, and now I'll take care of the ham. Now this is a fully cooked ham. So when I put it in the oven, I'm going to cook it until it's at an internal temperature of about 140 degrees because it is fully cooked. If you should happen to get one that is not fully cooked, then you'll want it to come to an internal temperature of 160 degrees. So this one will probably go in the oven about 2 hours. To take care of the ham, I'm going to pat it dry with a paper towel. And then I'm going to take a knife and just kind of slice all over it in diagonal motions to make like little diamond shapes in the ham. That way, when I baste it with my brown sugar and honey solution, it'll drip down into those little slits and just make that ham taste amazing. So now I'm going to baste the ham. And I'll just baste that ham with about half of my brown sugar mixture, and then I'll pop it in the oven. And then about every half hour or so, I'll baste it again with the remaining brown sugar and honey solution. And please note that I put the ham in the pan with the cut side down. And if you like, you could dot the ham with some whole cloves. Let me grab a couple and I'll show you what I mean. When I say you can dot the ham with some whole cloves, you can take a whole clove, which is like that, looks like a little tooth, and just push it into the ham. And that will certainly add some spiciness to it. It's kind of a savory spice, but since I've got ground cloves in my basting mixture, I don't need to do that. All right, so now let's get this in the oven. Now, before I get started on this cranberry sauce, I just wanted to fill you in a little bit more on what a progressive dinner is. And I got my notes right here just to make sure I don't leave anybody out. But a progressive dinner is where you start at one home for the main course, and then you move through several different homes for each course of the meal. So we've got 6 participants that are going to be joining us on this progressive holiday dinner. And the first stop on this dinner train, as I said earlier, is moi. This and that with Denise Jordan. And I'll tell you at the end of the video where you go next. But who all is participating? Well, Miss Leona from Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme in the Kitchen with Leona Dooley. We've also got Dee from Dee of Deelovely Life. We've got Stephanie from Creatively MsMe with Stephanie. We've got My Everyday Wife Life with Michelle. And then we've got Clearissa Coward from A Cozy Lifestyle with Clearissa Coward. So those are the other participants in this holiday dinner plan, and you'll be joining one of them after you leave me. So we'll definitely leave a playlist in the description box below so that you can make sure you see each one of us, but each individual member will send you on the next stop to the next person on her list. My family loves cranberry sauce. We like canned cranberry sauce, homemade cranberry sauce, purchased cranberry sauce from the Kroger Deli. We just like cranberry sauce. And I serve it 2 or 3 times a week, just like some people serve corn, I serve cranberry sauce. So this simple homemade recipe you can make in about 20 minutes and then chill it for a couple of hours. The first thing I'm going to do is give these cranberries a good rinse, and I'm going to pick out and discard any that are bruised, damaged, or misshapen. This ham is looking awfully good. In a small saucepan over low heat, I'm going to combine the sugar and the water and stir until the sugar dissolves. Then I'll add the cranberries and give them a good stir. I'll bring this mixture to a boil, and once it starts to boil, I'll reduce the heat and let the cranberry mixture just simmer until most of the cranberries have burst and the mixture is somewhat thickened. Like I said, that'll take about 10 to 12 minutes. Then I'll stir in my orange zest. Once I stir in the orange zest, I'll set it off the heat. I let the cranberry sauce cool for just a little bit, and now I'm going to pour it into my dish. Now let's give it a little taste. It's pretty hot. Nice. It is very good. Sweet, tart, and delicious. So next I'm going to put this in the fridge and let it cool. It'll be in there for a couple of hours, and then I'll bring it out for us to have with dinner. Let me bring the ham over and we'll taste some of that. This ham looks pretty darn good as well. And I'm just going to trim off just a little bit. Look how it's just kind of all diamond-like, and I just want a little piece to taste. Very, very good. Now, just to give you the backstory on this dish that I put the cranberry sauce in. This dish belonged to my grandmother, my mom's mother, and I got it as one of the things from when they were breaking up her house after she died and my grandpa was gone and they were dispersing things. I got this dish. And from my remembrances, and they could be wrong, but it just seemed to me like this was a dish that she always served cranberry sauce in. So whenever I have big holiday gatherings and I serve cranberry sauce, I put them in this dish. That way, my grandma's right here with me. This ham tastes absolutely delicious, and so does the cranberry sauce. I'm going to go ahead and get these plated up, or plated up I should say, and get them ready for dinner. But in the meantime, you need to move on over to Miss Leona's house at Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme in the kitchen and check out what she's cooking up for you. And once you're done there, go on to the next stop on the list. But make sure you do check out the playlist so that you see all the different dishes that the ladies in this Dinner Party Magic holiday train have for you. For more homemaking and homekeeping inspiration and dinner party magic, click here.